State prosecutors question a former presidential aide over allegations of embezzlement and abuse of authority, while two others have been put under arrest as the probe into the Choi Soon-sil scandal deepens. The presidential office is reportedly pushing for a meeting with the opposition parties to resolve the crisis surrounding President Park's close friend. Plus, with the U.S. presidential election just around the corner, Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump make their final push to woo voters. The latest national polls show Clinton with a modest lead. These and more coming right up.
Hello, it's Monday, November 7th here in Seoul. Welcome to our newscast. I'm Hwang Ji-hye. We start with the latest on the probe into the power abuse scandal surrounding the Park Geunhye administration. The president's former senior secretary for civil affairs, Woo Byung-woo, reportedly denied most of the allegations leveled against him on Sunday during a marathon 15-hour questioning session by prosecutors. Woo left the Seoul Central District Prosecutor's office before dawn on Monday morning. Woo reportedly remained tight-lipped regarding allegations he embezzled from funds from his family-owned company and that he was involved in the scandal involving President Park's longtime friend, Choi Soon-sil. Also on Sunday, state prosecutors brought in the former senior presidential secretary for policy coordination, An Jong-bum, and former presidential secretary Chung Ho-sung for further investigation after the court accepted prosecutors' request for arrest warrants. An and Chung are accused of helping Choi collect money from conglomerates and giving her access to presidential documents, despite the fact that she was a private citizen and had no security clearance. Meanwhile, President Park Geun-hye is expected to call for meetings with the political parties this week in relation to her prime minister nominee. The opposition parties have vowed to boycott the confirmation hearing of Kim Byung-jun, saying the president did not consult with the National Assembly before the announcement. Amid escalating public anger over the Choi Soon-sil case, President Park carried out a series of personnel changes, made two televised apologies, and said she would cooperate with prosecutors. The president's new chief of staff, Han Kwang-ok, said on Sunday that he feels the people's disappointment and understands the gravity of the situation. Meeting senior presidential secretaries, he called on them to work with a resolute determination to get state affairs moving again. We are now into the last leg of the race for the White House, with Election Day set for Tuesday. The Korean government has been working to foster communication channels with U.S. presidential candidates ahead of the election. According to an official from Seoul's foreign ministry, officials have contacted and met with top aides and key members of the Democratic and Republican camps almost 200 times combined. They add Seoul and Washington both acknowledge the importance of their alliance regardless of domestic political situations. And with the big day just around the corner, the latest NBC News Wall Street Journal national poll shows Hillary Clinton has a modest lead over Donald Trump. The poll released on Sunday shows 44% of likely voters support Clinton, while 40% back Trump. 6% showed a support for Libertarian candidate Gary Johnson and 2% for the Green Party's nominee Jill Stein. Clinton's lead has tumbled by more than half the 11-point edge she enjoyed in a poll held in October, possibly affected by the FBI's announcement on Clinton's use of private email server while she was Secretary of State. The poll shows Clinton holds big leads with women and minority voters, while Trump has a significant advantage among men, white voters, and senior citizens. The latest poll surveyed nearly 1,300 likely voters from November 3rd to the 5th. It has a margin of error of plus or minus 2.7 points. U.S. presidential nominee Donald Trump was rushed off the stage by Secret Service amid a disturbance in the crowd, but it turned out to be a false alarm. At a campaign rally in Reno, Nevada, Saturday evening, an unidentified individual shouted "gun" during a scuffle with a man holding a sign reading "Republicans against Trump." The man with the sign was tackled by armed guards and was quickly taken out of the convention hall. Officials later reported the man was unarmed and no weapon was found at the scene. Both Trump and his Democrat rival Hillary Clinton have been making their final campaign stops in key battleground states to win over undecided voters and motivate their bases as the race for the White House enters its last few days. Shifting gears, the Prime Minister of Iraq has warned Islamic State militants in Mosul to lay down their arms if they want to live, as government-led forces close in on the country's second largest city. According to state media, Haider al-Abadi's message to the people was that the city will be liberated soon and government forces will not retreat. Mosul has been under ISIS control for more than 2 years, but the army said it has gained a foothold in the eastern suburbs. Satellite images show the militants have set up barricades on key routes into the city and demolished buildings to clear their line of sight. Defense analysts say the fortifications could pose a serious challenge to advancing forces. They would likely face sniper fire, house-to-house fighting, and booby traps once inside the city. A U.S.-backed alliance of Syrian rebels are attempting to retake the northern city of Raqqa, the de facto capital of the Islamic State group in Syria. Watchers say the new offensive, which started over the weekend, piles the pressure on ISIS at a critical time with its fighters already battling Iraqi security forces in their remaining Iraqi stronghold in Mosul. The U.S. is coordinating airstrikes on Raqqa with the Arab part Kurdish alliance. The alliance says it's aiming to isolate and then topple the capital of international terrorism. Raqqa is the last solid base of the Islamic State and is home to most of the terror group's training camps. A state-run think tank says South Korea's recovery momentum is weakening due to slow exports and a slump in consumption. For a deeper look at the discouraging digits, Kim Min-ji reports.
The momentum behind Korea's economic recovery appears to be slowing down. That's the assessment by the Korea Development Institute, which says the pace of recovery is being hurt by sagging exports coupled with a slump in domestic consumption. The KDI's latest report is gloomier than last month's, which said the recovery is holding steady at a modest rate. This time, though, the state-run think tank said growth has slowed down both in retail sales and the service sector, and that they could drag on the overall economy. Retail sales fell 4.5% in September from the previous month, marking the biggest fall in nearly 6 years. Output in the service sector grew 2.8% on-year in September, but that was slower than the 4.8% gain the month before. Exports, along the backbone of the economy, continued their downward streak in October, falling 3.2%. They've been declining for almost 2 years now, despite a brief rebound in August.
Recent economic growth has been backed by construction and real estate. There needs to be a shift in focus to increasing investment and productivity, which will in turn lift production capacity.
What's worrisome is that the Institute does not expect conditions to improve anytime soon, with uncertainties here and abroad casting a shadow over the Korean economy. For one, a rate hike in the U.S. is looming, and that could impact Korea if it triggers a massive capital outflow from emerging markets. On top of that, the government's ongoing corporate restructuring drive is taking a toll on related industries, and the fallout from Samsung's termination of its Galaxy Note 7 is expected to continue for some time. Kim Min-ji, Arirang News.
Many people think that alcohol consumption is the main cause of liver disease. However, recent studies show 90% of such diseases are caused by other reasons. Kim Mo-kyun shares with us the latest findings.
More than 20,000 people in Korea die every year due to liver-related diseases. As the liver is considered to be the silent organ because of the slow appearance of its symptoms, many people don't realize that something is wrong until it's too late. This is very dangerous as the fatality rate of liver cancer is the second highest next to lung cancer. A recent study held by the Korean Association for the Study of the Liver announced that the biggest factors that cause liver diseases are hepatitis B and C viruses. Researchers said that some 75% of patients suffering from liver cirrhosis or cancer in Korea developed it from hepatitis B and 15% from hepatitis C. What's surprising is that many people were unaware of the fact, as they compare the danger of viruses as similar to or less important than smoking and obesity. According to a survey held by the association on more than 2,000 adults, when asked what is the main cause of liver cancer, 75% of respondents pointed to alcohol consumption, followed by smoking, hepatitis B, and obesity in that order.
Since effective medicines that can cure hepatitis patients are available nowadays, it's important to include checkups on hepatitis during nationwide physical health screenings.
Experts say it's important to first increase the awareness of the risks and symptoms of hepatitis in order to prevent the increasing number of deaths from liver diseases. Kim Mo-kyan, Arirang News.
A team of researchers from Korea has developed a new method for measuring changes in cell mass. This technology could allow for more accurate observation of how drugs affect the body and facilitate disease diagnosis. Park Se-young has the details.
The human body is composed of trillions of cells. Most human cells fall within a size range of 15 to 30 micrometers, which is about 1/6 or 1/3 the width of a hair. When a virus or drug enters the body, cells experience a change in mass. Through an accurate measurement of cell mass, experts can screen for illnesses and check if a drug is working correctly. Until now, however, cell mass measurement came with a heavy price tag and a complex production process. To redress the problem, researchers from Korea turned to the commonly used glass test tubes used in science labs. After heating a thin glass tube using lasers, they stretched it out and applied consistent vibration to it. When a cell passes through the tube, the frequency changes according to the cell's mass and provides the researchers with the desired measurement. The new method is as efficient as existing ones, but it comes with a simpler production process and lower costs.
We created efficient sensors using easily available materials. This is meaningful because most any laboratory will be able to make and use similar devices.
The research team expects their development will contribute to diagnostic options and drug research. Park Se-young, Arirang News.
And that wraps it up for now. Thank you for watching. I'm Hwang Ji-hye, and I'll be back in less than 2 hours for more news updates. So do stay tuned for that, and goodbye for now.